and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Networking and Beyond. This very podcast is a podcast done by BNI members for BNI members. Today we have with us a very interesting person. This person was this individual when I entered into a first ever BNI setting, had a beaming smile, and without hesitation walked up to me and gave me the warmest shake hand ever. I asked him what he did, and he told me that he makes people smile by his food and his hospitality, and then told me that he was a caterer. A person who has been on the LT team, a person who's absolutely approachable at any point of time for any of the members in BNI and of course for his customers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next guest, Mr. Kannan. Kannan sir, I'm extremely happy, I'm extremely excited to have you on this wonderful podcast. How do you feel? Is this your first time on a podcast? How do you feel being on a podcast?
Yeah, this is my first time on a podcast and I'm being honored in this particular gesture.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for acknowledging to be one of our top 5 guests for this. And today, I can assure the audience who are watching and listening to us that we're going to have a lot of takeaways in terms of business, in terms of BNI, and also a little bit about hospitality and customer relationship, because that is your forte.
Yeah.
Right? So let's quickly dive into it. Let's not talk about where you are now. Let's talk about how you got here. Right? So let's go back in time to the past. And can you give us in a quick jiffy, what were you doing a few years ago? Was business the first thing you did? Or were you a part of a corporate atmosphere? How did you get into this catering business?
Okay, that's the question usually everyone asks me. So I was in corporate for almost 15 years. So I've done various roles in corporates. I was at a management level. So we all seek something in life. We all want something in life. So when you want to get it, you will definitely want to look for it. When you start looking for it, and that's when you will be struck with a lightning saying that this is not the path that you need to choose. You need to jump into another path. So I got rid of my one innings and then got into this innings of business. So wherein my father was in the profession, he's a pro by profession, so he was doing catering as well as a value-added service. So I wanted to jump into catering and upscale it, give it a professional face, make it more professional, and wanted to add value in others' life. That's what pushed me to this.
That's fantastic, sir. So can you go to a specific moment that it dawned upon you, like, hey, from tomorrow I'm going to be this persona of Kannan, who's going to really help people through hospitality?
Yeah, see, I've been, even in the corporate world, I've been doing a lot of employee engagement and a lot of things where I am adding value as a human being, be it a manager or a normal individual, guy. I should add value in his particular thing, whatever we are doing. So the moment I was struck by a moment where the management felt that I'm redundant. That was a terminology that was used to me. So I felt I'm not valued anymore in that particular place. That's when I took a call that I should do something where I can add value to others. So I came out of that. On that very spot, on that very minute, I took the decision that I'm quitting my job.
Have you looked back? Any regrets?
No, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure, and you've been doing a fantastic job, and thank you for that quick insight. So let's move on to where you are right now. Now you're an entrepreneur. You run a cafe called EatrepEat, which is quite close by to the venue here.
Yeah.
And what was the inspiration for you to start a cafe? Because a cafe, of course, you serve food even in the hospitality business and the catering business. But what was the intention of starting this cafe?
Okay, so I got into, any brand, I wanted to create a brand, right? So how do you create a brand? So you need to have your own you need to do your branding activities, come up with the company logo, blah, blah, blah. Then how do you make people eat your food? So that was the biggest question I had. So you can't, for any client for that matter would want to taste your food before they give you order.
Correct.
Right? Because I'm a new guy into the market.
True.
I don't know the business part. I don't know how to talk to a client and all those stuff. Though my father was, so I picked up few things from my father. Then I thought, so I quit my job on March 3rd, 2017.
Okay.
I wanted to open something by the following March 2018.
Okay.
So that's when we had a space in my home on the ground floor where we thought we'll open a cafe which will be our experience zone.
Okay.
which will give, like you might have seen experience centers for
Yes,
TVs,
yes.
laptops,
Yes, true.
even for that stone fabrications, and so many things, right? So we wanted something where we can give that experience to the client.
Fantastic.
Where they can come eat food, and they should kind of test their taste buds. That was the thought process, and that's how EatrepEat got into existence on March 21st, 2018.
Fantastic. Sir, just a quick question. If somebody walks into your cafe, name 3 items that they must eat.
Puliogere, Shakar Pongal, Ambode.
That's fantastic, and that was so apt and quick. I have tasted your ambade and puliogere, but I haven't tasted the sakre pongal because I haven't gotten the opportunity.
Yeah.
But I will very soon. So that's on my list. So moving on, sir. Every business has its own way of standing out.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't want to call it competitors, but there are so many people who are providing the same service.
Yeah.
Right? Now, for somebody like you who's been in the industry for the last 3 to 4 years, how do you want to stand out in the eyes of a customer? What is that one differential for you?
So, I'm very clear with respect to what I give to my customers. So, I keep my communication very simple. I keep it very simple. And I'm very transparent in the way I deal with my customers, be it what they want, how they want, and every single thing is broken into pieces and given it to them so that they have absolute clarity as to what they're getting and what they're asked for.
True.
And on the day of delivery, I focus on every detail that I have discussed with the customer. So on the customer, say if the customer says, I need this at 11 o'clock, it is there at 11 o'clock. So that is where I stand out. On top of all this, I give a personal touch to the event. So I tell the customer that I would do that event like it is my own event.
Okay.
So that is one step ahead of what others are doing, where the customer would feel that somebody from the family is looking after the guest.
Fantastic.
So that's where it stands out.
Sir, can you give me an example? Because what you said, I think, was very powerful, because you live in the service industry. Like, of course, food is a part of it, but everything around that food is emotion, right? Food itself is an emotion.
Yeah.
Now, can you give me one example of this beautiful customer relationship strategy that you've been deploying? I don't want to call it a strategy because it takes out the natural element to it. I want to say connection, this human connection that you bring in naturally. Can you give me one instance that it's really worked out for you?
Yeah, this was my first wedding event. This was in August 2018. And I went to a customer changed his 10-year-old caterer to me. By looking at the professionalism that I showed, by looking at my menu card and the way I presented myself. Then they gave me, it was an Indo-American wedding. So the guy was an Indian, the bride was an American. So they wanted a few things very specific. So I kind of executed that wedding, and on the day of reception, my father came to just have a look at how things are and how the setup is, and things like that, just to check out as to how my son is doing. And my clients' brothers and a lot of people, they stay out of India. They settled in Singapore, US, and places like that. I introduced them to my father, said he's my father. So they came up to my father and they said, your son has done a fantastic job. Everything was so organized, everything was to the point, everything was delivered at the right time, and we are very happy with the services. Whatever suggestions he gave was apt, and everyone just relished it to the core. So that was my first event. So that is very strongly sticking to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, right? No matter how big or how massive you've done other events with, the start of that journey is quite special.
And that feedback going to my father.
Yeah, of course. He's been the one who's guided you through the process. He's the one who's shown you how to get into something like this. I mean, of course, if he's giving you a thumbs up, then you have no other approval to, achieve. Fantastic, sir. Now, there's one specific thing that I came across in a recent documentary on Netflix. It's called The Game Changers. I don't know if you've watched it. They talk about nutrition and food.
Yeah.
Okay. And how we as human beings today, even though we have advanced medicine, advanced tech that can save us from so many diseases, our lifestyle is the one that is the catalyst behind what we go through, especially once we start aging, right?
Yeah.
So as you are in the catering business,
Yeah.
what are some of the steps that you are taking to provide healthy meals, meals that are of good nutritional value?
Yeah.
How are you taking care of that sector? Because now, because of the internet era, people are getting more and more awareness about this, right?
Yeah.
People know what to eat, what not to eat. How are you adapting to this ongoing change?
So, I've been brought up in a very conservative Brahmin family. So I've been eating all traditional recipes, all old recipe food since my childhood. We were never exposed to junk food at all. What people call junk today is all these KFCs and things like that. But we have eaten all the fried items which we have done at home, right? So one thing that I look at this particular, to answer your question. So what we do is, as a caterer, we have a bigger role in educating our customers as to why this food, right?
Okay.
So that is our important part, because they would say, why traditional foods? I can eat Chinese, I can eat Italian, but trust me, you can't eat Italian, Chinese every day. You are not built for it.
True, very true.
That is not your habitat.
100%.
You can eat what you have grown up eating.
Correct.
Every day.
Correct.
If I serve you Puliogere every day, you don't mind eating it.
Correct.
If I serve you Italian pasta every day, would you eat?
No, I mean, honestly, no.
Honestly, no. So what we thought when we opened the cafe, we wanted to bring in the traditional recipes, that authentic food which we've eaten throughout our lifestyle. We want to bring that to the platter.
Okay.
In the traditional way of preparing, when you cook the rice, you soak it and then you get it out. So we kind of follow the traditional methods.
Okay.
Why that method, I'll tell you. So in our cafe, we have a wall wherein we educate our customers. We say ghee is a fat burner. But today, if you talk to any youngster, they would say, I don't want ghee, because ghee it puts me on.
Yeah.
Which is actually a myth. People have taken it. It has been induced into them by the industry, saying that if you eat ghee, you'll put on.
True.
So we educate our customers. We say, eat what grows within 25 kilometers of your radius. Eat seasonal food, be it fruit or any vegetable that grows in the season. So in our cafe, we promote such dishes. So during every season, there is a dish, there is a vegetable that gets grown. We prepare out of that.
Oh.
Because that adds value. You eat mango during mango season, it doesn't do anything. If you eat mango in the November season, it'll cause problem. Because that is where seasonal food helps.
Correct.
In a healthy manner.
Correct.
So we try to educate our customers. We try to use dishes, try to use the ingredients according to the season, so that it adds value through the food as well.
Yes.
It helps people to be healthier. So that's what we do.
And my next question is something similar to the previous one.
Yeah.
That also means that everything is cooked fresh.
Yeah.
No preservatives, no canned food, none of these preserved food for 1, 2, 3 months has been used.
So we strongly promote no preservatives in any of the dishes that we prepare. All the items, all the dishes, all the condiments, all the packed items that we do are all homemade.
Okay.
Be it pickles, be it powders, every dish that we use in our food, everything is homemade.
Wow.
We don't use artificial colors. We use natural colors, like we use pudina for green, we use turmeric for yellow.
Yes.
So we use natural colors. So predominantly we stick to the old traditional recipes.
That's beautiful.
which is the actual science behind food.
Yes.
Which is now overtaken by a lot of cuisines. But trust me, nothing can be traditional recipes.
I 100% agree. And this comes from my experience going to Ireland. And when I went to Ireland, I've been, again, I come from the younger generation of watching MasterChef, right? Now, everything looks so rosy, everything looks so colorful.
Yeah.
But when I stepped into Ireland and when I wanted to see what their kind of cuisine was, I was quite astonished as to, no disrespect there, but the kind of complexity, the kind of understanding and the science that goes behind Indian food, that you will understand only when you leave India.
Absolutely.
Or let's say like you said, once you start eating pasta 30 days in an entire month, you will realize what changes you have in your body.
Correct.
And that is when I started building gratitude towards Indian food. Like, wow, so much variety, such simple ways, and still so tasty. What is not appealing to your taste is appealing through your smell or through the eyes, but nothing through taste, right? Their food is so much more blander. I can only agree with you, and I'm pretty sure that my roots to Indian food have grown stronger. Yeah. Fantastic, sir. And again, this incident is constantly running in my head. Like once when I cooked some Indian food for my housemates who were all Irish, they were so astonished because they said, we've never smelt anything like this. And when they put that Indian food into their mouth, all I made was a little bit of a ghee roast and paneer. That's it, nothing else. And when they had that piece, they said, these are tastes that we've never had in our life, period. Right? And I had so much respect for Indian food, and especially traditional Indian food, and I could only think of what they would feel like. So kudos to you on that, and I'm with you in the same point, of eating traditional food. Let's quickly go on to the last question regarding to your business.
Sure.
Sir, there are so many people around, right? Why should somebody choose you for their event?
So as I said earlier, I'm very I keep it simple to whoever comes to me. There's no glamour, there's no hustle bustle, nothing like that. It's all simple. I customize it to the level that they want it to be customized for their event.
Wow.
And all the things that they want is transparent. Everything is clear with respect to the negotiations and on the monetary side. And the delivery is focused on details. I focus on every detail that they want me to deliver. Fantastic. So what happens is, I want to be part of their story. That's my biggest takeaway.
Wow.
So when I deliver things, I'm sure I'll be part of their story for lifetime.
True. I mean,
because food stands out for an event. Food is the main and the most important event happening in the entire event that they're doing. So.
True. I mean, it's just that when you're kids, you admitted that you're going for a family function for the food, but when you grow up, you don't just admit it.
Exactly.
So food is the X factor in the event, right? It makes or breaks the event. Fantastic, sir. And now let's quickly move on to the second segment of this interview, where right now we've spoken about your business, but let's speak about the channel towards your business. And one of the strongest channels and roads towards your business has been BNI, right? And I want to know, what is BNI to you first? And what has it given you in the last 2 years of your business?
So BNI, I started my business in BNI.
Wow.
So it's my second home. So that's what I would say, because I was called to a meeting as a visitor. Let me be honest, I was late for the meeting. I had forgotten about the meeting.
Okay.
But probably something shook me up, saying that, boss, you're losing an opportunity.
Yes.
So that's when I went to that meeting. I was late and I was not aptly dressed for the meeting. I didn't know. I mean, I was not aware of it. So I went in and I could connect the philosophy of BNI, which is give as gain. Because my family values also teaches me that.
True.
What goes around comes around. You give something, it will come back to you. You cheat somebody, somebody will cheat you. You do something good to others, somebody will do good to you. So I believe in that philosophy. So I could connect to that, and I could connect to the people in the room. So that's where I was bought in. Though I was thinking what to do, how to know, because from a corporate guy, I had no networking. I had no network for me. So that's where BNI gave me another home, where I have people, like about 48 of us, who are with me, who are for me, and doing towards me. So that is something which is amazing, which BNI has given me. So
fantastic, sir. I can only agree with that givers gain policy that you mentioned, because I've mentioned time and again, once you start giving, it evokes a side in you that is only unexplainable.
Correct.
Right? And only a giver will truly know that side.
Absolutely.
It's a sense of warmth that will put you to sleep with no headaches in mind, right? Irrespective of how bad a day you've had, if you're a giver, you can go to bed with absolute peaceful sleep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have an instance for this, if I might take few seconds.
Please.
So in our cafe, we don't waste food. Okay. We strongly believe that every grain has to be earned, has to be felt, has to be eaten. It should not go waste. So first of all, the food is not left out. Number one. Even if it is left out, we donate it. So we donated to Adame Chetan, which you know it's nearby.
Correct.
There are about 150 employees who always relish our Puliogere. Whenever we say we have a Puliogere left out, they'll say, please get it, we'll eat it. Or we give it to the needy people. We have various places where we have identified and we give it to the people. So what this did to us, I tell you. So of course it was business. We were not making any money out of that. So me and my wife, we always believe that you should accrue two things. One, you can accrue, that is the money which you can fill your bank account or your pocket or whatever. The other thing is you can fill your heart by giving food to others. So we were accruing either of the one.
True.
Either money was coming or your heart was full that you are giving somebody, so somebody is having that food, and they would take it with happiness, right? So this, what it gave to us, I tell you, we had a Prajavani reporter coming to us voluntarily, saying, I want to write an article about your cafe. So he came to us. We never called anybody. No publicity was made. We had one of our customer, his sister was working in the Hindu. So he fought with her, saying, you have to write an article about EatrepEat. If you are not writing, I will not talk to you for life. So that is the kind of bondage he had built to us. So she came to us when we were closing down. She said, can I take half an hour of your time? Write an article. She wrote an article that came in Hindu. Then we were reached out by 91.1 FM for their Food Icon Awards, which was done in 2019, wherein they had various categories. They had created a category for authentic Brahmin cafe. And we were shortlisted for that based on our digital presence. We are on Facebook, Instagram, we are coming on Swiggy, we are on Swiggy, Zomato, now we are coming on Amazon Foods as well. So based on the ratings and the things that we have even on Google, they reached out to us saying that we want to recognize your effort in this particular industry. So we got that award as favorite authentic Brahmin's cafe in Bengaluru, amongst Patashala, Nagarjuna, Nandana Palace, and many more such organizations, about 28 of them. So all these we never approached. It just came back. So what goes around comes around.
For sure. Agreed with you, and I don't think you could get a better example than this. It speaks for itself, sir, and I truly believe in that as well. Let's quickly move to the next part of this. Now, in the BNI process, we speak about referral, right? Now, apart from the giver's gain policy, what has been your biggest strategy to generate a referral? What do you have to do?
So I'm being genuine. So I always keep my genuinity and integrity in place whenever I'm referring or generating a referral to anybody. So I don't do referrals for the sake of doing referrals. So I feel that there should be a genuine effort because that comes out in the referral. If it doesn't convert or it converts. So the clarity I give to the person whom I'm referring to. So I'm very genuine. So I understand what my friend or anybody needs. And I talk to the member who is providing the services and then check whether it fits into that and then pass a referral. I just don't pass a referral saying that my friend wants it, you cater to it. I never do that. So I ensure that the ends are met and the golden triangle is always met, then pass a referral.
I think that's a great learning for me because I've been a new member since the last 8 months, and a lot of times I have done the mistake of just connecting to people. But I really think taking it this one step edge forward and saying, hey, can I have a chat with you? Can I understand your product better? And I will connect you to the necessary member. That's such a beautiful way of doing it. It might take you an additional 10 to 15 minutes of your time, but the what you can say, it becomes a solid referral, right? It becomes a referral where it has a good 90% to 95% of chances that it will convert.
And it will establish your credibility as a member. Because that person will look up to you, that the referral you have passed, whether it is converted, not converted, but at least genuinity is clearly visible to the person, what the effort that we have put in. So that's what stands out.
Fantastic. Sir, can you give me a quick incident or a story of one of the biggest gains you had in BNI, like maybe a referral, apart from the first one? That was one story. Can you give me a BNI referral story which we can definitely give out to the audience and BNI members?
So I'll tell you. So I would not say I'm a strong networker, but I'm learning to be one. And so I started following the methods of the system that BNI provides. So I started attending trainings and talking to people, understanding, learning new things from people. That's when I met a cross chapter member who is into North Indian catering. And when I spoke to her, I did a one-to-one. Followed up, did a one-to-one, and then we met up one place, and we said she was not doing South Indian. She had no strength on South Indian. So I said, this is my strength. So she said, can we do together? I said, absolutely fine. So that's when we started. We did one event together, and that was a grand success. And from then on, we are hooked on together with respect to from a collaboration perspective.
Okay.
And we are now part of a Powered Buddy team, cross chapter Powered Buddy team, where we do. Now she's confident of taking South Indian catering as well. So she takes up the entire event, or I take up the entire event, and she does the North Indian, I do the South Indian.
Fantastic.
So we work as a team. So I think that is the biggest give that has come towards me. And selfless, she has never even thought second time I'm giving away this particular order to Kannan, and it has never been that case.
Wow.
That is the biggest give I've got in BNI. I think that's a long way to go. I mean, we are still working. I mean, the meeting which I had now recently, I just met a client now today.
Just a few hours back.
Just a few hours back, and closed the event for April 24, 25th, 2021.
Wow.
So it was with those members, cross-chapter members. So I think BNI as such has given me many such extended family members, apart from my own chapter, wherein they all think about me when they need a South Indian caterer. So that's the biggest give I have got in BNI.
That's really nice, sir. I really like how you've used the BNI way of things, and it gives a lot of young BNI members the belief and faith in the process. And they know that eventually that, once you cross that year and a half and you follow the process and some of the principles, there is no reason why it shouldn't happen, right?
Absolutely.
So amazing talking to you about BNI, about your business. Now let's get to know Kannan as an individual, right? And for this, we play the traditional cliched game, but with a bit of a twist. This is the rapid fire game. So what we'll do is I'll be asking a few questions, and you must answer these questions within 5 to 6 seconds. Okay. So can we begin?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So the first question is, what motivates you to get out of bed in the morning every single day?
Many customers are not getting the best in the market. So I want to be the best.
Okay, no comments on that. I think you are well in par for that. And I mean, of course, when every customer comes up, it's going to happen. The next question is, name another business profession you wouldn't mind getting into.
Event management.
Event management. Okay, fair enough. Again, in the same vicinity. What's your favorite part of your current job?
I think when you get back that smile, satisfied smile from the customer for the service you have rendered, and they don't mind adding you into their story, is what keeps me, makes me feel motivated and do much more than what I'm doing today.
That's fantastic. Name 3 business leaders you would want to have a discussion with over dinner.
Ratan Tata is one for sure. Nandan Nilekani. And Mukesh Ambani.
Oh, that's fantastic. I like your answers. I think you're the first one until now to give me all 3 Desi people, all 3 Indian people. Fantastic. That's really nice to know. Name one BNI member that has inspired you a lot.
I think Ram Samtani has stood out very clearly because he is into clothing, apparel, but his passion towards, speaking, training people, I think he has stood out very clearly. He coaches people. He does MSP trainings, many trainings. Now he has become a senior DC as well for one of the chapters. I think that passion-driven people stand out, and you will always look up to them. I'm a very passion-driven guy. So when I see him, I would want, I mean, that's how people should be. I look up to him as a BNI member, so that's fantastic.
That's really nice, and I can second that. I had my one-to-one with him. If you were given $1,000,000, what would you do with it?
So I believe that nothing comes free. You need to earn it, and so I would better my surroundings, my family, my friends, and do something better to the society.
That's fantastic.
That's what I would do.
That's fantastic. Not many people have that noble thought, but I'm really glad that you do. Next question. If you were given a watermelon, what would you do with it?
So I would definitely make a juice out of that.
Okay.
And keep a few pulp to garnish it.
Okay.
And present it to my client.
Yeah, I think I'm asking the wrong person for this question, because that's your instinct, right? I mean, you're into that business. I mean, no surprise there. Yeah. What are some of the most inspirational books or videos that you've come across? And can you mention one of it?
So I watch a lot of TEDx videos where one thing which struck to me very strongly is your body language speaks more than your words. So that's something that I believe in. When I watched that particular video, I could connect to that speaker, as to how a body language can shape a person's personality, and I could relate to a lot of things that I do matches to the body language that I have. So I was able to. So that was very inspirational, and I think it gives you that spark to keep it up and always improvise it. So that's
fantastic, and I can agree with you because I'm a communication coach again. Absolutely. So it's all about body language and more than your words.
Yeah.
So advice to anybody who's not yet joined BNI.
Just grab the opportunity, don't lose it.
This has been the most common answer, and I think I agree with that again. Because see, you don't know the platform until you join, right? So the platform.
You need to get into the water to measure the depth. So.
Absolutely, no other way. Last question. I know you don't read books a lot, just like me, but if you'd love to author a book, what would you call it?
Simply Me.
Simply Me. Why?
I would just want to tell people to keep it simple, not complicate things. Because we see people complicating so many things. A small issue is complicated. A small requirement is complicated. Be it software or catering, right? Innovation is kicked into every nook and corner. They want to innovate the food. Keep it simple. That will stand a long way. So that's what I would want to say. So simply Me is be like how I am. That's what I would say.
Be authentic. Be original.
Be authentic. Be original.
That's fantastic, sir. Sir, it's been a pleasure to have you on this podcast. And as an individual, as a host of this podcast, I've had a lot of takeaways personally. And some of the takeaways that I'd love to share with the audience as well would be the takeaways of, it's not about being in the catering business, right? Customer is always king.
Right.
And you so rightly said that your USP is not in your food, but it's in the service that you're giving.
Correct.
And how you tend to build this personal relationship with them.
Correct.
Right? That's my first key takeaway from your entire podcast. My second key takeaway is that food has a story to tell, right? And there is science behind food. There is a specific way that why our food is designed this way. And having your ways to do it, your authentic way of doing it is the best way to do it. And like some people follow you, they use preservatives and all of that, but you sticking to the roots, keeping it authentic is very important, because no matter what business you go to, you got to keep it authentic, you got to keep it original. Anything a little too much can be too much, and they say it can lead to indigestion as well. And my final point is simple. Know that when you give, do it unconditionally.
Absolutely.
Right? When you can give unconditionally, you will always get this back. And this is something that most of us have preached as BNI members to our fellow peers as well. Yeah. And I would definitely, agree to it as well. And thank you so much for coming onto this podcast and sharing your golden nuggets of wisdom, knowledge, and your experience through the years. And we definitely wish you a lot more energy, a lot more luck, and a lot more people who could be a part of your amazing smile and your journey. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Lalith. It's been an honor. I think this is my first podcast, and I think it was Great show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure.